Tonight on Stripped Down, dramatic pause. High hopes. Yeah, we are spending 60 minutes with Saskatoon's own High Hopes on Stripped Down's 197th episode. Welcome to Stripped Down, High Hopes. How are you guys doing?
Good.
I have had more fun during setup than I usually have most episodes, so I'm really looking forward to the next 55 minutes. Welcome to Stripped Down. Yay! High Hopes 197. I want to point out the irony already that Stripped Down, usually known for its low expectations, is featuring a band called High Hopes. I worked on that during the first song.
Oh boy. Good.
Thanks. I got a hearty oh boy.
Wait, should we give him a round of applause? Oh.
Hold your applause to the end. What do we need to know about High Hopes? Tell me something. Let's get this started.
Man, honestly, we're just kind of like a pop rock band who wants to sing about stuff that's close to our hearts, and we're not in this to make money or get on the radio or anything. We're just doing it because it's kind of like this expression by Bukowski. Poetry is what happens when nothing else can. That's kind of like why we're doing this band. It's pretty much our entire lives, and we're just working really hard at it. So if that's what you're into, then that's what we got to offer. So
what's close to your hearts? This may be a good time to go around and introduce us to your band.
Joel's chest hair.
A lot of that.
I don't know. We bond over things like
The weirdest stuff. The weirdest stuff.
mostly nerdy things. I mean, Andy's kind of a sound tech nerd. We play, let's put it this way, we just finished a tour where we drove like 30 hours home from Toronto, and 90% of that was spent with 3 of us in the back watching Skyrim. One of us plays Skyrim, and the other one driving. So, I mean, that's just kind of how we are. We just bond like that. So, nerdy stuff basically is pretty close to our heart, and just, yeah, just music in general.
Online, and I'm guessing in real life, but especially online, your band is insanely popular.
Insanely. Well, I mean, like, not compared to Lady Gaga, but
Well,
I get what you mean.
how do you compare to Lady Gaga in any way? And why should you?
Yeah,
But
true.
yeah, like, my jaw dropped when I saw the likes.
Yeah, like, we have some pretty crazy fans, I'd say. I mean, it kind of spirals into this awesome thing where, like, when I started the band by myself, I was just an acoustic act, and then Casey joined, and we started getting this buzz, and to the point where I think, like, our fans especially are super dedicated to our music, and they really feel like part of the band almost. And like, all of our fans basically bombarded this guy named Brian Stars. He's a really popular interviewer from the States, and they basically bombarded his email telling him to feature us, and he did. He featured one of our music videos, and then that got us a ton of new fans. And then they did the same thing with Alternative Press magazine, telling them to feature us, and then they featured us there. So it's kind of been like this spiral of, like, our fans are kind of pushing us.
Our fans kind of do everything for us, and they help make a lot of our decisions. And
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
But how did that get started? Like, that's what every band hopes for, right? Is the fans to champion the cause and just push and push and push the recognition. So, like, I don't know if you have advice, but, like, what got that started for High Hopes? Because I've noticed that online. Like, your fans are crazy devoted.
Yeah, just stay at the same level as your fans.
Yeah, like,
Musicians
I mean,
are no better than anyone.
Exactly.
So just don't even have fans, just have lots of bros.
Exactly, like, treat your fans like best friends. Because really, at the end of the day, like, we've done shows where we'll play to 20 people, and there's somebody there who likes our music, and we'll go out of our way to, like, hang out with them for, like, an hour after the show, you know? Like, you just treat them like they're your friends and realize that you're doing what you're doing because of them. And as far as getting it started, getting the ball rolling, really just make sure that the image you're portraying is honest. Because, like, if we were a band singing about going to clubs and partying and stuff like that, we'd be, I mean, none of us really even drink other than me, so it's pretty, we'd be fake, right? And people see through that so quickly if you're trying to portray something that you're not. So just be as honest with yourself as you can when you're coming up with an image, I would say.
All right, introduce us to the band. Go around real quick. Everyone say hi.
I'm Casey. Been in the band for quite a while. I guess me and Joel did the whole acoustic thing, like, right after he was doing the solo stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I play guitar, and yeah, I have big ears, I guess.
I'm Joel. I'm kind of the generic chubby kid in the band, I guess. Yeah, I started High Hopes 2 years ago, roughly, as an acoustic thing, and then Casey joined, and then these other 2 guys joined, and I like to party.
Joel, I know for a fact you don't party.
Hi, my name's Joel, and I like to party.
You know,
No,
for
you're
a fact
Andy.
you don't like to party, Andy.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like this is turning into like an Alcoholics Anonymous. Going around saying hi. Properly introduce yourself, sir, and do it in any voice you want, because you've been blowing my mind through setup.
Definitely not doing that now. I'll just embarrass myself.
Kermit the Frog, pretty much the entire...
Mr. Herbert,
yeah.
Claw from Inspector Gadget,
So good.
Napoleon Dynamite.
So
yeah, pretty
good.
much the entire cast of Napoleon Dynamite. So.
Those only like guys with skills.
Are we...
Bone stab skills, computer hacking skills, nunchuck skills.
Yeah, we try like 2 hours every day, so I guess you could say things getting pretty serious.
Wow.
Thank you.
Do you ever take off any sweet jumps? Sharks, pigs, lucky. Get your own thoughts.
But I'm Andy. I play bass, obviously. I'm kind of the nerdy one of like nerdy tech gear kind of one of the group. I do all the technical crap, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But all the behind the scenes stuff, so kind of what builds our live set so we can actually push our sound and our actual, what's the word I'm looking for? Show.
In a sense, it's almost
Image.
like me and Casey handle we always like say that me and Casey are kind of the heart of the band. Like, we're the over-emotional ones who, like, you know, like, cry watching bands that we love and stupid stuff like that. And then Andy and Ryan are more level-headed and they keep more the technical stuff going. So
We're the muscle of the band.
yeah.
Muscle.
And I'm Ryan. I play drums, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Pug's not drums.
I joined the band at the same time Andy did, and
Like 10 months ago?
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Nice.
August unofficially. Yeah.
And that's High Hopes.
Yeah.
High Hopes in a nutshell. What was the first song we heard tonight?
It's called Kids We Used to Be.
And what's that about? You guys are going to be the band this season that has the best stories behind their songs. I hear all this stuff about you're emotional, and so hit me. Come on.
That song is kind of with the general theme of our first CP, which is basically at the time that I wrote it, I was going through a really ridiculously tough time. And it's kind of about coming to terms with, I guess, who I am and kind of learning to not really, I mean, like growing up I was bullied quite a bit and all this other like bad stuff and kind of learning to accept kind of where you come from and letting it be a good part of you, I guess, instead of being so ashamed of it. And that's kind of what in general our EP is about. So Kids We Used to Be is kind of like what that whole song is about.
And that feature guests is how you answer a question on Strip Down. Thank you. Jeez, man. That's what I'm looking for all the time when we do this show. I get so many. I don't know. I just kind of wrote it. I thought it'd be vague and let the listeners figure it out. Thank you. This is great. Where do we go? Song number 2.
What's the next? I don't even remember. Oh, Bigger Than, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's Bigger Than. We have a music video for this one. It was a single from our EP. And yeah, it's about the same thing as Kids We Used to Be. Basically, that whole EP is kind of a general statement. So, yeah.
This is High Hopes with Bigger Than. Take it away.
She's in the back seat of his car. He's just trying to get inside her heart, despite everything that was said. If he's winning your affection, then you can call his friends, and I'll call it quits. It's not about forgetting where you've been. Take pride in the scars that you have. Wear them like armor around your chest. We could be bigger than. She's losing herself to everyone who says. Now it's just a safe ride home. Despite everything that was said, if he's winning your affection, you can call his friends, and I'll call it quits. It's not about forgetting where you've been. Take pride in the scars that you have. Wear them like armor around your chest. We could be bigger than. Bigger than this. Bigger than this.
You're watching Strip Down with High Hopes, and that was Bigger Than, which is also the name of the EP.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
And there's a video.
Yes, sir.
You know what? Let's take a commercial break. When we come back, let's talk about the video and how exciting it was to make a video. I'm sure there were no roadblocks or speed bumps at all with video production, right? So we will continue talking with High Hopes after this. Mr. Sicily Pizza and Pasta is proud to sponsor community programming on Shaw TV. Mr. Sicily, located at the corner of 51st and Miller in the north end of Saskatoon. 975-0345.
The following sponsors are proud to support local community programming on Shaw. Long and McQuaid, 721 43rd Street East, Saskatoon, 244-0509, or online at long-mcquaid.com. Ultimo Euromoto. (204 3rd Avenue South in downtown Saskatoon), 664-6640.
Do you know where your tap water comes from? It can come from one of two sources, groundwater or surface water. Surface water often begins as snowfall that accumulates in the winter and melts into our rivers and lakes. Cities will treat it to get rid of most of the impurities and then send it down the pipes, under the streets, and into our homes. The problem is, the quality of water is being damaged by our activities, and as our earth warms up, there may be less water available in the future. How can we look after our water resources? Find out where your water comes from and how it is being protected. Use less when you're showering, brushing your teeth, or watering your lawn. And never pour toxins like cleaning solutions down a toilet, sink, or storm drain as it ends up in our rivers and lakes. It's our turn to take care of this planet, and I think we can do a better job. What do you think?
You're watching Strip Down with Saskatoon's own High Hopes, episode 197, third last episode of the season. Yeah, that means we're ending on 199. Maybe not ideal, but that's just the way it rolled out. We're going to feature Bryn Kreis's band, Young Benjamins. Everyone here knows Bryn, right? That's the reoccurring theme.
They played in the Owl next to us in Juno Fest.
Yeah, Juno Fest. We played with Down with Webster, and then they played with Hey Ocean and a couple other bands right next door in Regina. So I checked out their sound check, and they sound like mind-bogglingly good. Those guys have so much talent. It's crazy.
I got to give a big shout out to our director, Jay Neufeld. Sorry to break the fourth wall of television down, but we actually taped the Young Benjamins episode like a month ago, and we've just been feverishly editing it for the last month, and we're about half done. And when I say we, I mean 90% of it was Jay, so it is going to look phenomenal. Maybe the best looking episode we've ever done, but yeah, it's coming at a toll. So viewers better appreciate it when they see it in 3 weeks. They're going to be like, man, looks like a lot of work went into that episode. All right, back to High Hopes. Right before the break, we heard it, Bigger Than, which, as I mentioned, was the name of your debut EP. So Bigger Than kind of encompasses everything you guys are about at this stage.
Yeah, that whole EP, like I said, I mean, we try to keep, for me, I try to keep the songs honest, which means if they're all written, that all those songs were written kind of within a year of each other, and they kind of all depict where I was at that time, I guess. So Bigger Than, like the line in the chorus, which is like, it's not about forgetting where you've been, take pride in the scars you have, is kind of like generally the whole theme of that EP, where I was at that time and stuff. So, yeah.
No, that's great. And I don't want to generalize everybody, but I mean, everybody's felt that way at one point, right? Everybody's gone through some crap growing up. So is that, do you get like that response from the fans? Is that kind of the chord you strike with them where they're like, man, thanks for telling that?
Yeah, I mean, we have some crazy fan stories. Like, our fans are unbelievable. And I mean, there's songs like, we wrote this song called Star Wars and Poetry, and we wrote it, and it was just me and Case in the band, and we kind of, I remember, it was super personal, and we kind of said when we wrote it, like, this is dumb, like, no one's going to get this. So we just, like, set it aside, and then 2 months later, we kind of played it again. We're like, hey, let's just make a cheap little video for this song and put it out. Like, why not, basically? And it exploded, like, within our fans. And, I mean, there's people with tattoos of our lyrics going around, and just stuff like that. I mean, at the time when I wrote those songs, I thought I was being over-emotional and dumb.
Sitting in my living room being like, no one's going to like this one, but whatever.
And I mean, that's how I kind of feel about 100% of our songs. We write it, and I think it's because it's almost like a diary. You write it, and you're like, this is too personal, it's too, you know, I'm being too detailed about this, and then you release it, and you have all these kids coming up to you being like, man, like, this song saved my life, or like, you know, and it's so crazy, and you're like, man, I'm so happy I released that.
That's super heavy, though. Like, how do you process that when people come up? I mean, I've been on television for 10 years. I've probably never made that much of a difference to anybody. You know, no one's getting my quotes tattooed. Like, how do you deal with that?
Sometimes he doesn't know how.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little, I mean, you have people coming up to you being like, kind of, oh, how did you deal with this? And you're kind of like, I don't know, man, I still feel that way. So it's a little like hard to try and be a therapist and everything sometimes. But I mean, what I try to remember is, especially I think for me and Casey, like the fans, we did that to them growing up. So we kind of know what it's like from the other side. So I mean, the big thing is just try to be respectful and try to like, I mean, for example, my favorite fan story probably is, or second favorite, I guess. I'll tell the favorite one another time. But my second favorite fan story is this girl in Vancouver who had liked our band for a long time. And the second time we ever played Vancouver, she was standing front row. And we walked on stage, and she just started, like, crying. Like, just cried till the end of our set. And after, she came up to me and had this huge heart-to-heart basically saying, like, you know, like she was crying the whole time she was doing it, and there's all these fans around, and she started going off about, like, I'm so happy that you write the songs you do, like, and she went on this whole story about how it helped her through all this stuff, and, like, she made me cry in front of all of our fans. So after the show, we were supposed to originally go to an after party or something, me and Casey were, and we decided, instead, we basically found out her address in Vancouver through a non-creepy way. It sounds way creepier when it's just brief like that, but and we showed up at her house kind of unexpected and just basically were like, yeah, we want to hang out with you.
And we ate Oreos and watched Austin Powers.
Yeah, and like the whole time she was like almost in tears and stuff like that is like, we just try to remember like from what it's like from the other side of this perspective. Because I mean, the reason we're in this is because we're like the biggest fans in the world of the bands that we love. So just try to take it from the other perspective and go with like that, I guess.
I don't want to sound offensive, but I almost want to do an episode with just like no music. I just want to talk to you guys. This is pretty intense, and thank you for that. But we got to get to more music. That being said, so where do we go? Song number 3.
This song's actually brand new. It's going to be on our new EP, which will hopefully be out in January. And like I talked about the theme of the last EP, and this next EP is kind of a continuation, and it's going to be about kind of coming out of that stage and kind of being confused about a lot. And this song kind of depicts that, and it's about a really good group of friends we have from Victoria, BC, and it's called Victoria. So it goes like this.
High hopes.
Drowning in this negativity for so long, I just want a place to breathe, a place to call my own. So I'll pour out my heart to these good friends, start to surround myself with better things. Victoria, feel like home. And I've been drowning in this negativity for so long. I just want a place to breathe, a place to call my own. So I'll pour out my heart to these good friends, start to surround myself with better things. Well, it took the last year and every inch of myself for me to feel like I my own. So I'll pour out my heart to these good friends. Start to surround myself. I'll surround myself with better. I'll surround myself with better things. Surround myself with better. And this is home.
We are spending 60 minutes with high hopes, and now is the part of the episode we play our weekly game. You guys know Dylan Evans?
Yes.
Yeah, the name sounds familiar. Everybody knows Dylan Evans. He's like 1 degree away from Bryn Kreisa. If you know Bryn, you got to know Dylan. It's like osmosis. He's one of our hardest working volunteers here on Strip Down. First one here, last one to leave every week, right? Just, he's that guy. He's always stuck in the control room. Doesn't get to be out here where all the action happens. So every week I give him one question to ask the band. Are you guys ready?
Oh boy.
So this week on Dylan Evans Wants to Know. Dylan Evans wants to know. Now this is a quote. Don't call in, Mom, and get angry at me. Quote, where did you get those sick-ass speakers?
Oh, the guitar caps.
End quote. That's his question. He wants to know where you got them.
Big shout out to Old Crow, which is an awesome company out of Ontario.
Mission BC.
Okay,
Mission BC.
Relocating to Edmonton though.
Okay, they're moving to Edmonton, but they hooked us up and with an endorsement deal, and
And they are really pretty.
yeah.
Very.
Every show, pretty much, we've had these for a while, and
Every single show, somebody comes up and they're like, those things are so pretty.
Yeah.
Get them from, what are they?
What are those?
But yeah,
They
Old
do
Crow
exist.
cabinets, they kick ass. So
They're great.
that's who hooked us
Beautiful
up.
things, yep.
So as well as having almost like, 10,000 Facebook fans, you're also sponsored.
We have a couple endorsements actually. Like this one is
Set for Life.
Set for Life Apparel, which is like an awesome clothing company out of Kelowna. And then we have the Old Crow cabinets and drum sponsors.
Yeah, Dark Horse Percussion and TRX Cymbals.
Yeah, so we got a couple awesome
I don't have
deals.
the drums yet, but they're on their way.
On their way.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
If I can make an observation, you guys got to continue being the nicest people in the world, because man, there must be some jealousy from other bands at your level of success. That song again? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. I mean, like, for the most part, bands are really nice to us. So, yeah, not too much jealousy. Yeah, it's pretty good that we know of.
That we know of.
Unless people
yeah.
are talking behind our backs, in which case we see you. We're on TV. We see you. Okay.
We see y'all.
All right.
Getting weird. That song again was?
Victoria. It's not released yet. It's for our new EP that we're working on right now.
All right. In a little bit, we will talk about CDs, what's coming up, what's out, that kind of thing. I didn't ask you about the video, though. I teased that before the commercial break, so people stayed glued to their seats, wanting to know about it, and then I didn't deliver. So let's go back to that quickly. The video, the premise, the shooting. How did that all come together? Good
well,
times, bad times?
We did a couple
I'm wrong.
viral videos for other songs, but that was like our first, I guess, legit music video shoot. And I remember it was so cold outside.
We actually started a fire.
Yeah.
And we hung out around that for a while.
Between our takes, we ran to the fire.
Yeah, between takes and we warmed up,
You can see our breath.
and I was freezing to the point of like being unable to like sing because I was like shaking so much. So I went and sat in my car and like let it run for like 2 hours.
Yeah, Casey was like
I was
puking.
I was really
And
sick
then,
that night too.
things like your wireless wouldn't work. Because
Oh
it
yeah,
so
it was
cold.
my wireless on my guitar was so cold that it wouldn't work.
Yeah, it was freezing. And then we did it. We started shooting at like 10 o'clock at night or
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, and we shot till like
1 or 1:30.
Yeah, so you imagine it's like freezing cold outside, like 1:30 in the middle of like Andy's sister was nice enough to let us use her acreage, but you're kind of like
No
there's
shelter.
wind and like
It was really cold.
definitely a Saskatchewan video shoot. Let's put it that way.
And we saw a salamander on the ground. It was kind of cool.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool.
salamanders are cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much that video. Getting sick and freezing our butts off.
And
Yeah.
salamanders.
And
Salamanders and lots
Yeah.
of mosquitoes before it got
Exactly.
freezing cold.
Yeah.
3 songs left. Is that what we're sitting at? I'm trying to
yeah.
gauge the episode here.
Yes.
3 or 4, whatever you want us to
3 or
do.
4? Okay, if we got 4 more, why don't we do 1 more, and then we'll go to our second commercial break, because when we come back, it's not all the happiest night ever on Strip Down, because we have to say goodbye to someone tonight, but we'll we'll let that cat out of the bag in a little bit. So what's next? Song number 4.
Do you want to do Counting Heartbeats or Star Wars and Poetry?
Star Wars, probably.
Okay. Yeah, so we're going to do...
If you guys vote, I'll be the tiebreaker. I'll be the first.
We're going to do a song off our debut EP. This is the one we were talking about earlier, where our fans, we weren't going to originally release this one, and then we did, and our fans kind of went crazy over it. So, yeah, it's called Star Wars and Poetry.
Ladies and gentlemen, High Hopes.
Ridden mind is not why he's failing. Something tells me that you are not impressed with my Star Wars t-shirt or black rim glasses, ability to quote poetry on a whim, especially Bukowski. Darling, are you turned on yet? I have a mom and dad that say I need to learn to call more often, as if there's still hope I'll find hope in a normal life. My dad just smiles and says, need to learn to be more social. They try, I swear they try. I'm still let down. Something tells me that you are not impressed with my Star Wars t-shirt or black rim glasses, ability to quote poetry on a whim, especially Bukowski. Darling, are you turned on? Are you turned on yet? Are you turned on yet? It's all
All natural things on Earth and how they interact is biodiversity. From the microscopic to the mighty, from the smallest body of water to the coldest, from underground to the highest ground. When biodiversity is rich, we can count on the natural world to produce the oxygen we breathe, filter and purify the water we drink, and grow the plants we rely on for food and medicine. Due to human activities, biodiversity is being lost faster than nature can replenish it. So let's do what we can to help preserve biodiversity. Create natural spaces and plant native species. Take part in a wildlife survey. Get out and experience Canada's amazing variety of wildlife. And that's just a start. To learn more about biodiversity and how you can help protect it, visit hww.ca.
The following sponsors are proud to support local community programming on Shaw. Long and McQuaid, 721 43rd Street East, Saskatoon, 244-0509, or online at long-mcquaid.com. Ultimo Euromoto. (204 3rd Avenue South in downtown Saskatoon, 664-6640.
Mr. Sicily Pizza and Pasta is proud to sponsor community programming on Shaw TV. Mr. Sicily, located at the corner of 51st and Miller in the north end of Saskatoon. 975-0345. Ladies and gentlemen, high hopes. For possibly the last time on Strip Down, the lovely May Trohack. May,
Hi, everyone.
The journey comes to an end tonight.
I know. It's totally sad, but you know what? I have a feeling that maybe I'll be back next
Maybe.
year.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
Maybe someone will call in sick, and Curtis will
I
give
got you
me
on
a
speed
text.
dial.
Right
You
on.
came to us, what, February? February when Alex, our regular audio engineer, went on vacation, and you've been here pretty consistently. Mixing bands, it's been good, bad, not bands, they've all been good, but like there's been highs and lows here in Strip Down. There's been so many things thrown at you. There's the Bass Invaders, there was like 28 channels. It was, when you look back, what do you remember, May?
I definitely remember Bass Invaders. I remember struggling with certain bands that were loud but didn't have the best gear, so there was a lot of feedback and those kind of issues. So I'm running back and forth. And
I'm putting you on the spot here.
well, I think the highlight is just having different experiences mixing bands. That really in itself is why I'm here.
Yeah, this is what you want to do. You've gone to school. You want to get into professional live mixing or just professional mixing?
Either or. I'd even be interested in broadcast or radio or post-production, video games, whatever pays the bills. So, yeah.
All right. Last week when I was gearing up for the Goodbye May episode, I asked, what does May want? Name 3 things. And you said chocolate cake, and chocolate cake. So come on in, Laura Churchman. And I hope this cake is fit for May Trohack. You have to turn it to the camera.
Oh, that is so awesome. It has the Marilyn Manson, like, voltage warning symbol or whatever that is.
I'm really worried it's going to slide off, but yeah.
No worries.
Did we do a good job?
Very good job. I love it. This is so awesome. Thank you, guys.
I'm a little nervous. This is the first time Laura and I have been on Strip Down with a cake that it hasn't ended up in my face, but please don't do that. Our clothing sponsor would not appreciate it this time. And also we have a official, very running out. There's only about 2 or 3 of these left. Strip Down water bottle for you, May.
Oh, thank you. Awesome.
Stay hydrated. Think of us. Think of the good times. On behalf of everybody in Strip Down in 2013 since you've come on board, thank you so much, May. You've done a hell of a job. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you. I hope you stay in touch. I hope you come back.
For sure.
I hope if somebody's sick.
For sure.
Thank you, May. Closing words. We'll see you. I promised her we're going to end the episode waving while credits go. That's how it's going to end. But final words before we go.
I would never throw that cake in your face because I have too much respect for the microphone.
Thanks. Wait a minute. What? All right.
That's like a $400 microphone, right?
Oh.
Yeah, that's phantom power and everything.
All right. You want to throw back to the band?
Yeah, stay tuned. After the commercial break, we are listening to High Hopes. Right on.
And you take me, break me, make me want you. Ask me, I'll tell you, I'll show you what to do to fill my dreams.
All natural things on Earth and how they interact is biodiversity. From the microscopic to the mighty, from the smallest body of water to the coldest, from underground to the highest ground. When biodiversity is rich, we can count on the natural world to produce the oxygen we breathe, filter and purify the water we drink, and grow the plants we rely on for food and medicine. Due to human activities, biodiversity is being lost faster than nature can replenish it. So let's do what we can to help preserve biodiversity. Create natural spaces and plant native species. Take part in a wildlife survey. Get out and experience Canada's amazing variety of wildlife. And that's just a start. To learn more about biodiversity and how you can help protect it, visit hww.ca.
The following sponsors are proud to support local community programming on Shaw. Long and McWade, 721 43rd Street East, Saskatoon, 244-0509, or online at long-mcquade.com. Ultimo Euromoto. (204 3rd Avenue South in downtown Saskatoon, 664-6640.
Mr. Sicily Pizza and Pasta is proud to sponsor community programming on Shaw TV. Mr. Sicily, located at the corner of 51st and Miller in the north end of Saskatoon. 975-0345. ladies and gentlemen, High Hopes.
Stop! Down to a science side. The words that I say, heavily cemented. It's more than I say for him. Goes and it goes and it goes and it goes. Goes and it goes and it goes and it goes. I'll be the story from all your friends who play the part. And I can't forget, you've got your alcohol and his attention. I've got these songs, my attempt at tourniquets. I'm trying to sleep. You're holding his hand. I'm holding grudges and this is smile do side. You got your own song. I am carved out of stone. Goes and it goes and it goes and it goes. I'll be the story from all your friends who play the part. And I can't forget, you got your alcohol and his attention. I've got these songs, my attempt at tourniquets. I'll be the story from all your friends who play the part. And I can't forget, you got your alcohol and his attention. I've got these songs, my attempt at tourniquets. I'll be the story from all your friends who play the part. And I can't forget, you got your alcohol and his attention. I've got these songs, my attempt at tourniquets.
We are wrapping things up with High Hopes. We're pretty much out of time, you guys. Did you guys have fun tonight? Yep. Yeah. Didn't really want to commit to an answer there.
Saving this to the water.
Really quickly, albums. How can people get their hands on your music?
You can go on iTunes, just enter in High Hopes Bigger Than, and it should pop up. Or we have free downloads of other songs on our Facebook page, facebook.com/highhopesmusic.
Physical copies? They're around like that these days, unless you put out a cassette.
Physical ones.
Or a-
Come to a show if you want a physical copy, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the only way to get it?
Or from our online store, but we're kind of
We're working
sold
on
out
that.
right now, so.
Working on it.
Okay. And you said you have one EP out right now, and you're working on kind of a second. There's some unreleased stuff tonight?
Yeah, we're working on a second EP right now, and it should be out in January. Yeah. And just the one out, yeah.
Plans for the second one? How's it going to differ from the first?
It's kind of like building a story, I guess. In the first one, as you can tell from most of the songs, it was kind of about being in a bad place, and the second one is more so about kind of coming out of that and being confused about like feeling jealousy and things like that for the first time, and just trying to be a happier person overall. So it's kind of like a continuing story almost. Yeah.
I Googled High Hopes. I like to do that with band names just to see what pops up, and maybe there's a connection there. It's a Frank Sinatra song.
Yeah.
It's a Pink Floyd song. And it's a British movie from 1988 about somebody's mum, spelled M-U-M, living with the couple.
There's also a hardcore band from, where are they from?
I have no idea where
It's
those
called
guys are from.
Cross Seas or something? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of High Hopes things, I guess.
And was the band name based after one of those? It was it the 88 British movie? No.
No, we just...
Because I'm not going to lie, that sounded like the worst movie I've ever read the synopsis from.
Joel just got really inspired by this terrible movie this one time.
Mom! Mom! Why don't you
Mum!
do better?
We basically just.
Biscuits, Mom.
I write a better song than you, I swear on my mom.
My last band name was really like the last band I was in was had a really long name, and I was like, man, I just want something short this time that kind of, I mean, High Hopes. I was like, it suits the music, so why not? So we did that.
Why not?
Yeah.
So the new album coming out January.
January, yep.
And then touring it. You guys are very successful at touring. I also read.
Yeah, we have some crazy good fans from the online stuff that come out to shows. So we're touring. We just got back from out east in Toronto, Montreal. We played Pooza Fest, and then in August we're heading out west to Vancouver Island. And then when we release that EP, we're going to do across Canada to promote it. And then in April we're supposed to go to the United States, and then hopefully the UK right after that. So keeping busy.
And again, for all things High Hopes, you can Google it, but you might get a Frank Sinatra song or a really crappy movie. So the best place to go is
probably our Facebook or our Twitter, just facebook.com/highhopesmusic. We keep that thing updated like pretty regularly. So.
All right. In 10 years, when I go to IMDb and put in High Hopes, I don't want to see that movie. I want to see something related to your band. Is it a documentary? Did you guys make a movie? What's it going to be about?
We're gonna
be about our
Our next EP is gonna be called Mum with a U.
Yeah, just Curtis, just so it bugs Curtis. No one else will understand it but Curtis, and he'll see it and he'll be like,
And I will laugh. I'll tell that story to everybody. They'll be like, oh my god, you got to go on IMDb. You know that band High Hopes? I'll be like cool by association. Maybe.
We're not that cool, but thank you.
Oh, you're absolutely cool. All right. I guess we got to thank our sponsors. Ultimo Uramoda, the nice clothes. Long McQuaid, some of the gear. Mr. Sicily Pizza, I could smell it back there. And, of course, the hairstyling, who I don't know if they want me representing them anymore. But also, and I put the sign close. Are you laughing at my hair? Go ahead. You guys are a bunch of bullies.
I love offhanded comments. It's my favorite.
You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at StripDownSK. You guys ready to play us out of here?
Yeah, let's do it.
For the last time tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it's High Hopes.
Doorstep, oh, you've been practicing, perfecting your reflection, oh, and my hat's off, kid, 'cause tonight you look absolutely stunning. Waiting on the confidence to set in, can I talk to you? If I get over my head, I've got lifeboats and a few friends. Oh, and those things you do is something I know that I should never forget. Oh, and your eyes are the current, pulling me in to the ocean. Waiting on the confidence to set in, can I talk to you? If I get over my head, I've got lifeboats and a few friends. Watch me drown inside of your smile. 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 Tonight, 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 drown inside of your smile. Waiting on the confidence to set in, can I talk to you? If I get over my head, I've got lifeboats and a few friends. Waiting on the confidence to set in, can I talk to you? If I get over my head, I've got lifeboats and a few friends.
His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best.